Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dina Clevenger. I am a wife and mom of two, and we are currently living in Guthrie, Oklahoma. So for this video, I'm really excited about it. I'm just gonna do some facts about myself. So the funny thing is, I wrote out like 2 sheets of facts about myself for the first time in 2 years. I'm going to read over these lists of facts for you guys and probably throw in some extra facts and stuff. And honestly, I may not even go over all of these because they may not be relevant anymore, but I'm really excited for this video. I've seen other YouTubers do this and I've always thought it was so fun. But first, you may want to get cozy, grab a drink. For me, I have my matcha. Normally, I like it a lot greener than this, but I'm out, unfortunately, so that's what I have. Also has some chapstick because we know that's very essential. Okay, so let's just start with number 1. Okay. All right, we're starting this off with a bang. Okay, so I hate to hear people eating bananas. Now, I feel like that has been something in the past that has been way more annoying than it is currently. Maybe that's because I'm married, I have kids. I hear those sounds a lot. But yeah, typically I don't like eating bananas in front of people either. So, fun fact. I got married when I was 21. I had my firstborn, my son, when I was 23. And then I had my daughter last year when I was 27. I had just turned 27. So they are 3.5 years apart. I have lived in 3 different states in my lifetime. I've lived in one state twice, 2 different times. So I was born in Missouri, in Reed Spring, Missouri, down by Branson, Missouri, if you're familiar with that area. And then I moved to Oklahoma when I was 14. And then when I got married, I moved to West Virginia with my husband, my absolute favorite state. I was absolutely heartbroken to leave. Hopefully one day, well, I don't know, maybe we'll get to move back there someday. And then Oklahoma again. So 3 different states, one of them 2 different times, that being Oklahoma. We have now lived here for 2 years. I think I've said that before. I love to bake. I don't love to cook. It's not my favorite chore, whatever you want to call it, but I love to bake. I don't really do it anymore just because I try not to eat a lot of stuff like that. And I don't have as much time anymore either. But when I lived in West Virginia, I had the opportunity to bake for a little local shop. Lady that owned it went to our church. So that was really fun. And I think you already know this, but one of them is I absolutely love matcha. Go try a matcha, whether you make it or go buy it. It's absolutely the best. I love plants. I love to garden, but I hate watering plants. I don't like watering my garden and I despise watering my houseplants. So a part of me is like, oh, I'm kind of tired of the houseplants, but at the same time, they bring so much life to a space that I can't bring myself to get rid of them. This is one that I have debated on bringing up, but I feel like it's such a part of who I am. And I don't say this to make anyone feel sorry for me, but if you resonate with what I'm saying, if this is something you've also gone through or something similar, then you will understand. If not, it's just part of who I am. It's shaped me. It was 20 years ago. So when I was 7, I lost my dad suddenly. That was very hard. It's been really hard all of my life. And I don't wish that on anyone. But it was 20 years ago. Another fact, my husband also he lost his mom when he was 5. So that's something we share, and it's been really helpful and also really hard because we share a lot of the same struggles. I have one brother. He's younger than me by almost 5 years. We were both born in July. So another fact, yes, my birthday is in July 18th to be exact. I love my birthday. I loved both of my hospital births. I know it's so trendy right now and like there's such a push for home births and stuff. And if that's for you, that's wonderful, go for it. And I can totally understand why someone would want a home birth, but I really just don't have a desire to do it at this point in my life. I can't say that it's not something I I don't know, I would do it in the future, but at this point I have loved my hospital births. They've been wonderful. I look back on those times with such fond memories that I want to do it again. I get depressed when the sun comes out, especially after it's rained. Like, I love rainy, cloudy days so much. I do love the sun, especially like in the summer and spring and stuff, because you've been kind of just tired of the cloudiness through the winter. But most of the time, I love the cloudy, rainy days. I love to go shopping on rainy days. I am absolutely terrified of snakes. When I moved to West Virginia, I was so happy because if you know anything about that area, they don't really have a lot of poisonous things. So they don't really have a lot of snakes. They do have rattlesnakes and stuff like that, but you're not gonna just find them in your yard usually. So I was so happy about that. And honestly, that was one of the hardest things for me to overcome in moving back to Oklahoma, is because I was so scared of the snakes and just all of the things that are here. Honestly, the poisonous spiders, like, those aren't really in West Virginia either. But since we do live in the country now, I feel like I have gotten over my fear of it a little bit in our yard, in our property, because I'm very familiar with it, and we also have chickens. So when they're out, I feel very safe. I love winter. I love the snow. I love the coziness of the season. I love it. I know most people don't, but I do, except for the older I get and the more children I have, the less I like it. I know I probably will like it more again once I'm done having children, but when you try to entertain kids for days and days and days and days inside a house, you can go a little crazy. Okay, so I don't know if it's my favorite city. No, I think it probably is my favorite city. We'll say one of them at least. Charleston, South Carolina. It's, if you've ever been there, you know the charm that I'm talking about. I love it there. But I also grew up going there a lot in the summer. We had a church camp meeting in that area, and we would go a lot. So it just brings back such fond memories for me. And I also I love the character. I love the South. I love the history of the South. It is my favorite. Okay. I cannot stand it when people don't dress for the season. Like when girls my age come to church on Sunday in the middle of winter and they're wearing an outfit that looks like June or July, honestly, it just bugs me. So this one it's still true, but I'm a mom of two, and most of the time I just try to keep socks on, I guess. I'm kidding. So I'm kind of obsessive about keeping my floors clean. I used to be, especially, but like I said, I have two kids, and in the house we just moved into, they have carpet in the dining room, so that is absolutely impossible. And also we live in the country, so we're all constantly getting dirty and muddy, and it's not feasible to keep them as clean as I once did. I'm an iced coffee girl over hot any day. You can find me in January ordering an iced latte. My husband and I love to do that, make coffee and sit out on the porch and watch our chickens. That's just something we like to do. This is a good one. Okay, so I don't like Aldi, but I do like it. When I lived in West Virginia, we were about an hour away from a good grocery store, and we were 2 hours away from an Aldi. So I didn't shop Aldi for the first 4 years of being married, maybe 5 actually. So when we moved out here to Oklahoma, then I started shopping Aldi more, and I have grown to like it. Appreciate it is probably a better word. It's still not my favorite, and it's like a 35-minute drive for me, so it's kind of annoying to go all that way and then not be able to get all of the items that I actually need for that week. But I do feel like the price point is worth it for me. Maybe I should appreciate these people more, but I do find it slightly annoying when people don't have any type of social media. I think that's just because I like to know what people are up to. I like to see pictures of their life. Maybe it's because I'm nosy, I don't know. But come on, it's 2024 and you don't have any social media. I took 2 years of drafting in high school and creating floor plans, stuff like that. Yeah, I took 2 years of that in high school. I have always loved drawing up plans, even as like a little girl. I remember my friend and I doing that in first grade. I have a really dry sense of humor, and most people don't understand my sense of humor. The person that I find it the most hilarious is my brother-in-law. He never knows if I'm making a joke or not, and it makes me so happy. I love black licorice. I have tried the strongest black licorice there is, and I love it. I love any black licorice. Give it to me, it's the best. I get super excited about the simplest things. It doesn't take much to make me happy. Like, yes, okay, I would be happy with a trip to Charleston, but I would also be happy with a pink bouquet from the side of the road. Like those small things, I love them. Okay, I am such a texture person. So with food, even if the taste is okay, if I can't stand the texture, I will not like it. Here's another fact about me. I am not Mennonite. And I know you know that probably by now because my hair is down and not put up. I do not wear a head covering. That is not how I interpret that verse in the Bible. I do not see that it's wrong by any means, but it's not how I personally believe. But I believe basically the same way that Mennonites do. We just don't wear the head covering. I am a Christian, but yeah, you'll never see me with a head covering. I wear my hair down or up. I wear it up a lot too. My hair actually used to be to my knees when I was younger. I have cut it off because it was absolutely so thick and so long and just impossible to deal with. I don't know that it would even grow that long again. If it did, it would take so long. It does not grow like it used to, and it's much thinner too. I would prefer a drink over a dessert most of the time. So if you were to hand me this over a cookie, I would probably take this. We had donuts at our wedding instead of a cake. So we had like a donut cake where it's like donuts stacked. I'll have to show you guys my wedding sometime. Yeah, I thought that was really unique, and I just think cake is kind of overrated, so don't hate me for that. If you had cake at your wedding, that's great. I love wedding cake, it's delicious. Here's another thing that's kind of like what people dress for is when you have a wedding that doesn't fit the season. Like, don't have a June wedding in November or December. It's just a little pet peeve of mine, little pet peeve, okay. I have an obsession over log cabins. If I had my wish, if I got to build a house someday, I would probably put a little bit of log cabin-ish into it because I love a log cabin. My decorating style has definitely changed a lot over the last couple of years. You'll see behind me, it looks a little more boho. And honestly, I don't really have a lot of decorations right now because we have moved so many times in the last couple of years. I'm thinking 2, 3, 4, like 5 times in the last 4 years, 3 or 4 years. So, but I would say that I'm kind of set on the moody farmhouse. Yeah, this is such a fun one. Okay, so I feel like most people have been skydiving. I have not been skydiving. I have been bungee jumping. So my friend and I went to BC one summer. I think it was 2 years after I graduated high school, and we went bungee jumping. It was so much fun. I think it actually scares me less than skydiving. I don't know why, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm kind of proud of the fact that I've done that. I fell in love with my husband's voice before anything else. I know that's odd, and maybe that's bad, but I could not get his voice out of my head. I love to listen to him talk. I love the sound of his voice. He can sing so beautifully. I loved his voice. That was like the first thing that I just fell in love with, I guess. And I still love that. I love listening to him talk. I prefer mountains over the beach. I love the beach, but I love the mountains. I've always loved the mountains. That's definitely where I want to live. It's where my husband wants wants to live. So maybe one day we'll get to move back to the mountains. I don't know, but they are definitely in my heart so much. I think people are too tan. Don't get me wrong, I love tan skin, but there is just something about white, creamy skin. I don't have it, and I don't have super tan skin either. I'm somewhere in the middle. But I think white skin is really pretty, and I don't think everyone needs to obsess over being tan. I think it's overrated, and it needs to stop. I did 2 years of college, but I never actually got my degree because I was actually going to a 4-year university, and then I got married after, I think it was 2.5 years actually. One of my least favorite chores as a mom is bath time. I feel like most people love giving their kids baths. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. It's the worst. It really is the worst. So I'm curious, when you order coffee, what is your go-to drink? Mine is probably, so if I'm trying a new coffee shop, I'm probably going to be trying an iced white mocha. I feel like that's just an overall good drink to try. Okay, so this one is kind of a bunch of facts all in one. And I'm going to thank my husband for this one because he's introduced me to all these foods. So, some of my favorite foods are, I love Buffalo Wild Wings. It was like our thing. We went after every appointment with our son because we had to drive an hour and a half to our doctor. And we stopped after we left our wedding and got Buffalo Wild Wings and ate it while we drove away, and it was blissful. I ate Buffalo Wild Wings in my wedding dress, you guys. It's such a fond memory. It's so fun. I love it. Crawfish. Have you ever had crawfish? Let me know if you have because it is so good. It's my favorite. Sushi. Although he didn't really introduce me to sushi. I had sushi before him, but I had never really liked it before that, and he really got me into the different types of sushi. And yeah, so now I absolutely love sushi, and it's something that we do that's special, like as a date or something. Sweet chili Doritos. Now I know they're full of dyes, but they are so good. They are one of my favorite chips. I am so terrified of appointments. I hate making an appointment, like setting it up. I hate going. I get so nervous, and I don't understand why. Brown M&Ms are the best. You cannot change my mind. They taste better than all the other colors. Really, there needs to be no other color. They are the best. And here's something about you too. I feel like everyone needs or wants to be so aesthetic. Like it is real life, and we don't always have to have everything perfect. It's okay if your couch isn't all white or faux leather or real leather. It's okay if you don't have oak hardwood flooring. It's okay if you don't have, marble countertops. If you have this old laminate stuff, that's okay. Things don't have to be perfect, but as you grow and as you change and as you get more money to do these things, it's fun to see people grow. That is one thing on my channel I have fought with because I feel like my house is so, I feel so undeserving to be on YouTube because there's nothing glamorous or that pretty about my house. Actually, it's pretty bad in some spots. You know what? That's okay. It's good to show people real life because that's what it is. Not everybody has a trendy house. But I'm sure you'll see my house grow and change throughout the years. Depending on how long we're here, we may build, but I don't know the future. But I think that's part of the fun. So don't feel the need to have everything perfect all at once. It's okay to do things gradually. It's fun to see the change. That's all that I have written down. I feel like in my mind there's so much more that I want to share, but I guess that is something that will come with time. You'll get to know me better. You'll get to know my personality. You'll see if you like my personality. I think that's all for this video. I'm going to close it down because that was probably way too many facts and I probably stumbled over way too many words. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment on one of the facts about myself that you found the most interesting or something that you have in common with myself. I would love to hear that. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.